Yo, what's going on, guys? Today in this video, I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. Today, I'm going to be reviewing a Plairail Henry that I got off Amazon. And then before I start, on the bed is some Lego base plates. I put those down so that way I have at least a smooth surface to put the track down on. So that way it's a lot better than just putting the track onto the bed. But anyway, let's get into the video. So here is the package that I got from Amazon. Nothing special here. This came in within, I think, 3 or 4 days. But anyways, Henry wasn't expensive anyway off Amazon. I think he was the cheapest I can find compared to a TOMY Henry, which is really expensive. I do have a TOMY Henry from when I was a kid, except I broke that on purpose, I think. I don't know why I did that, but I guess it is what it is, I suppose. But anyways, here he is. Obviously it's from Japan due to the lettering and all that sort of stuff, but it does still look nice. It does remind me of the old days from when TOMY and Trackmaster used to package their engines just like this. What I also like about this is that you can see the Hit Entertainment logo on the box. Sadly, Hit Entertainment is not around anymore since Mattel bought off the company, and that they're now called Mattel Television. Rest in peace to Hit Entertainment. But on with the unboxing. I actually do like how they package this thing. I mean, it is just in a plastic bag, sort of, and it's got these styrofoam blocks to protect the model. And there's some instructions in case everybody's interested, but it's all in Japanese, so we can't really read it anyway. But yeah, here he is. All I can say is he really does look like a nice model. They did put at least a bit more detail on him than the TOMY one did, even though I do prefer the TOMY one than this one. Though I will say he does look a lot better than Gordon, especially Edward, which the two are the ugliest Plairail models I've seen. And I bet looking at Edward, it's just about as much fun as watching all engines go. If I get 50 likes, I'll review a Plairail Edward. Here is his tender. I have to say, it actually does look like the tender from the TOMY era, which I think is fantastic because, you know, it just brings back the old days, you know? I think they use the same coal load as they did before. Yeah, it just looks great. And here is the little red truck that Henry came with, just his flying kipper, nothing special. I don't remember if Henry used a little truck or something to pull the flying kipper. He probably did. I just haven't really noticed it because all I would see is just these little vans. But anyway, it is nice to just see at least a little bit of rolling stock added to these characters. So it doesn't really bother me that he came with a faceless truck. It's just a, you know, a nice little thing to add, you know? But I do love how underneath it says TOMY made in Thailand. I really do miss those days. Now everything is just made in China from Mattel. But anyway, on with the track building, boys. As much as I would love to use the TOMY blue track, I'm going to use the Trackmaster track expansion pack. I think it came out in 2006 or 2007. This was gifted to me by someone in my family, and I just thought I'd use it. But anyway, let's put a battery in Henry and let's see if he works. Okay, now let's take a look at Henry himself. As you can see, even though he's redesigned, he does kind of look like Henry, I'm not gonna lie. He does at least have the accurate face from the CGI era and all that sort of stuff, the splashes on the running board, the silver painting on the handrails. He does look pretty detailed. One thing I'm not a massive fan of this redesign is that where they positioned his pistons, or it looks like his front truck or something like that, and there's no red lining on it. I don't know if the original TOMY version had that piston design. I'm sure it did, except it was a little bit bigger than that. But I am not a fan of where they put the pistons, especially when it looks like the front truck. But other than that, the model looks good. His firebox does look kind of small, but I guess that's probably there for detail reasons. It does still look good, you know, and at least it does still look like a firebox. Even the red lining on the boiler looks nice. They even painted where the handrails would be to keep the red lining from, you know, going into the handrails or something like that. You get what I mean. But it does still look pretty good. I'm actually not sure why they ditched the old permanent connection thing between engine and tender. I guess it's for costly reasons, but I do prefer where I put the C battery in the tender and have the engine do all the work. But at least the connection is not too bad. I mean, it's still a connection between engine and tender, but I do prefer the old classic permanent electronic connection. I really wish I'd bring that back, but I guess they're doing it to all the engines now. Moving on to the tender, there's really not much to say about the tender. It is pretty basic, but at the same time very well detailed. However, the buffer beam on the back is painted, except the buffers themselves are not painted black. I know everyone's going to tell me to paint the buffers, but for some reason I just kind of don't like doing that. I like to leave the model as is, because I'm not really a big fan of customs. I feel like customs just ruin the model entirely. So I might leave those buffers blank. I know it's going to bug a lot of people, but like I said, I am not a fan of customs. Big thing that's at least nice about this model is that the model can actually freewheel, unlike the stuff we get from Mattel today or what they released in Trackmaster 2. It is just so nice that these things can actually free roll. That is just a really, really good thing to see, in my opinion at least. Now onto the little red truck that Henry came with. It's not a bad rolling stock at all. Yeah, it's very basic and it's a little bit boring, but I think this is way better than what Mattel released when they bought off Hit Entertainment and Thomas and Friends and stuff like that, because they would always release some pretty boring stuff. But Plarail, TOMY from Japan, they actually pretty good on this, you know. Doesn't have a face. I mean, yeah, it's painted red, just a flying Kipper lettering on it, but it doesn't look bad to me. So there's my take on the Plairail Henry. What do I think about it? He is not a bad model at all. I will give him that. He's a great model. He's way better than what Mattel releases today. But obviously we can't do anything about that. But you know, this is still great. At least we can still buy this over here in the States. Well, not really, but you get the idea. So overall, I would give Henry a solid 8 out of 10. He's a really fantastic model. He's really great. He's just fantastic. I did forget to point out he does have that white running board, and that's really good. And yeah, he's just a fantastic model. So anyways, I'm gonna leave it here. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time.